Hello, everyone, and happy 2024. It's kind of cool, actually, that January 1st is a Monday because I release podcasts on Monday. So this is getting released on the very first day of the year. Whether or not many of you probably may not listen today, but whenever you do listen, Happy New Year. Welcome back. If you've kind of taken a break from things over the holidays, kind of the last 2 weeks of the year, especially the last week, it's like, what day is it? What time is it? We kind of lose all sense of routine. So I hope you're kind of feeling ready and feeling good about getting back into a routine. I'm recording this before the end of the year, actually. I wanted to have it kind of ready to go, and I knew what I wanted to share with you guys today, so that I can kind of take some time off. So it's like sometimes these podcasts are a little time travel-y. It's like I record them in advance, and then by the time you've listened, I've already done some of the things that I was like talking about doing. So anyway, I wanted to talk about a couple of things today. Again, I'm going to try and keep it short as we sort of ease back in. The second half of the episode, I'm going to share with you kind of what's coming for this year. A lot of new stuff. I shared with you, if you're on my email list, I shared towards the end of the year, several weeks ago, that my word of the year for 2024 is expand. And for me, what that means is I use that word to kind of evaluate what I am doing and using it to guide my choices and my actions, personally and professionally. And so everything that I'm going to share with you today is kind of through that lens of expansion. But first, I kind of just wanted to do I'm going to keep this short because I'm pretty sure if I were to look back a year ago, the first episode of the year was about this same thing, but that's okay because, we need to hear things many times before they sink in. And that if you are kind of feeling like you want to make some changes this year, or maybe you set an intention or you made a resolution, right? Whatever you feel like works for you. My number one piece of advice, unsolicited advice here, but if you're listening, I'm assuming you're looking for some support, is to focus on things that are actions versus like a goal, kind of actions and behaviors, things that are doable, and to get specific, right? So if you have a goal that you want to lose weight, or you want to get in shape, or you want to be healthier, or you want to eat healthier, or you want to, eat less non-nutritious foods, or you want to spend less time on your phone, right? Those are all goals. What are the actions that you are going to take to get there? That's what you want to focus on. Those are all great goals, but if you haven't broken those down into like the tiny, tiny day-to-day actions, that's never going to happen, right? This is really kind of the big problem with resolutions and intentions and goal setting, is that we don't break it down into the very specific, detailed actions that we have to take on a day-to-day and often multiple times within one day basis. So I would, challenge you to take whatever you have set for the year, if you've done that, or if you want to do that, and ask yourself, well, keep asking how, right? So let's say you have a goal that you want to lose some weight this year. And some people say, oh, that's such like a cliche goal. Like, if you want to lose weight this year, and because you have not been eating well and not been maybe taking care of yourself and have been doing a lot of stress eating and whatnot and not making choices that feel aligned with what feels good for you, then great. Then weight loss sounds like a great goal. Don't let other people make you feel guilty or crappy about what you know you need to do for yourself. So you say, okay, I want to lose some weight this year. How? Well, I want to stop snacking at night. How? Keep asking how, right? How am I going to stop snacking at night? Well, maybe I need to eat more protein at dinner. How? How are you going to do that? Well, do I need to kind of plan out in advance what my efficient proteins are going to be at dinner? Okay, great. How am I going to sit down on a Sunday and do that? Until you get to a point where you can't really go any deeper, that's what you need to focus on, right? So I just took a pretty big goal and boiled it down to sitting down one day of the week and figuring out what my efficient protein is going to be at 3 dinners this coming week. So that's just one example of what you want to do so that you can follow through, so that you can stick to the thing that you said you were going to do, right? I've kind of been talking about this idea lately that I feel like a big part of the work that I love helping people with is we all know what we need to do, most of us, to feel better, to eat better, to take better care of ourselves. The problem is that we don't do it. So it's like, how do we bridge the gap between knowing what we want to do, having that information, and actually doing it? what I just talked through is a really big piece of that. And it doesn't just apply to New Year's, it applies to any time you set a goal. So I hope that's helpful for you. So now I kind of want to jump into second half of the episode, a little bit of a switch up, and just kind of give you a rundown of what is coming from me in 2024. And this is not an exhaustive list because it's only January 1st and there'll be many more ideas. I have to take a drink. Hold on one moment, please. Sorry about that. So the first thing, and you've heard me talk about this, is semi-private coaching. I am really excited about this. If you've heard me talk about it, I've continued to kind of evolve what I want this to be and what I want it to look like. So it may sound a little bit different than some of the language you might have heard me use before, but this is going to be a small, intimate group of women who are looking to make changes and who are willing to commit to a long-term group. This is going to be a 6-month program. And I say program, but really this is going to be a place for you to come with what you want to work on. And the group together, myself and the other women in our small group, are going to work through it together, right? So I'm going to kind of create and hold this space, and then we will come together to give you the support and the resources you need to work through this. And so it's great because there'll be lots of opportunities for kind of like one-to-one, quote, like hot seat coaching from me in our meetings. And then you will also have so much support and resources from the other women in the group who are going through the same things, who will have their own ideas and experiences and recommendations and just emotional support to share. I've never offered something like this before. And I'm going to do a whole separate episode about this, but that is coming. I don't know the exact timing. I mean, it's soon, sometime in February. That is going to launch sometime in February. So very soon. And I will put a link in the show notes to add yourself to the early interest list for that so that you can make sure that you get the email, because the group is going to be small. This isn't going to be like, a 15-person group coaching kind of thing. This is going to be a small group. And if enough people are interested, I would do 2 separate groups. So a little bit of details about that. Another really cool thing that's coming, which I don't have any details yet because we've only talked about it kind of like on text and for fun, but we're actually meeting about it today, is my friend and colleague, Gina Wright, also AKA The Right Movement on Instagram, who if you follow me on Instagram, she is the one who's been programming my strength training and workouts for the last 6 months. And we have been friends for almost 5 years. We are going to come together and create a group coaching program. So it's going to be strength training and nutrition together. I don't have details yet. I don't know the timing. It's going to be later into 2024. And that's just kind of like a heads up that is coming. And I'm super excited about that. I'm also thinking about kind of updating Project Plate Plan and providing kind of doing the course over again. So anyone who did it would be obviously invited to come back and to offer more resources and more support, kind of spread it out a little bit. So still a self-guided course, but maybe with some calls thrown in and spread out maybe over a longer period of time so you can get more practice. A lot of the feedback that I got from people was like, this is awesome. I need more practice. I need more practice. And so thinking about that. I'm not sure when that will be or exactly what that will look like, but just kind of throwing it out there. So those are all online. I'm looking at my list over here. Those are all online kind of interactions. I'm going to be doing some in-person events. I'm going to be doing some in-person, I'm calling them coaching quickies at the Pilates studio that I go to coming up in February and March. You'll be able to sign up online. So if you're local to central northern New Jersey, I'm going to be doing some in-person coaching at the Pilates studio, and you'll be able to sign up online for that. I'll be sharing all that pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. And I'm hoping to also be doing a workshop at another yoga studio with a friend of mine, Tammy Spiewak. So lots of in-person stuff coming. And on the Diet Diaries front, I have a couple of guests that I'm hoping to bring on. Again, just as more resources and support, I'm hoping to bring on a stylist that I have followed and learned a lot from. And so nothing is confirmed yet with this, so I'm not going to share kind of any info or names or anything like that. But we've had, a conversation, and it sounds like she is interested. So I'm hoping to get that going. And I have another, actually tomorrow, I'm recording a Diet Diaries episode with another former client. So I love being able to share those stories with you guys so that you can hear firsthand from people who have done this work what it is like. And so you can continue to understand like what is possible for you, even when you think that you're stuck and this is just what your life is going to be like forever. I promise you it is not. There is so much that you are capable of. And then I'm actually this is kind of like a laundry list of stuff. This is like exciting. And all this is new for me. I've never done, most of this, I've never done stuff like this before. So like Expand is happening. Like I'm proud of myself for doing this. And I want my business to grow. I want to be able to connect with more of you and support more of you in ways that are really meaningful. And one-to-one coaching is definitely not going anywhere. That will always be kind of like the foundation of what I offer, but I want there to be more ways to connect and have support. So 2 more quick things. One is that I am going, at the end of this month, it's going to come out. I am on That Westfield Life podcast. So that's a podcast that supports local businesses in the town of Westfield where I live. And it's run by this woman named Amanda Vargas, and she used to own a restaurant in town. She's a super smart businesswoman, and she started this podcast to support the small business community in Westfield. It's really, really cool. So that's going to be coming out. So that's me on her podcast, talking all about my business and coaching and I work with people. That's going to be coming out at the end of January. And then the last thing is that myself, along with 3 other women kind of in our town, are starting like a women's moms business owners networking group. And we're kind of just pulling this together, and we're going to start having events and providing a resource to connect for women who are moms, and who are business owners, right? All 3 roles, and not one or the other. And kind of like breaking down this idea of like, that we can have it all and do it all. And that it's really about like getting support for all 3 of those roles, right? We're women, we're moms, we're business owners, we're all 3. We're not one or the other, and they overlap. And it's kind of this idea of like, we are greater than the sum of our parts. And so we want to create a group to connect for small women-owned businesses to get support and resources for each other, for moms to have different resources to support them in that role. And then just as women, right? Separate from being a business owner, separate from being a mom, like we're women, and creating a space to have resources and connect to kind of help, just have, I hate using this term sometimes, but like live our best lives, right? So anyway, working through all that. So that's everything. That's what I wanted to share today. I'll be back next week with kind of a more traditional episode. I have a list of stuff that I want to share. Some things I was going to do at the end of 2023 and just, didn't end up happening. So more to come soon. Thank you for being here. Wishing you a peaceful start to 2024.